So what was your take on that game, especially the first half with your guys out there?
Just too many turnovers. I think we had 14 turnovers at half, 21 for the game, which is way too many, and we allowed 19 offensive rebounds. So same thing we talked about last year, taking care of the basketball, finish the possession with a rebound. With like 1.6 on the clock, if we get that rebound, the game's over. So they get a chance to get an extra shot and then make a big time three. So things we've been talking about since day one of training camp, we just got to get better. Offensively, we're going to get better. Kind of slow down, playing a little too fast, too sped up. But we got to rebound the basketball. Like that's got to be our mindset every single night. So we got to do a better job with that. And like I said, taking care of the basketball.
I wanted to ask you about the point of emphasis defensively. I know the coaches get together, and I guess there's brief on officiating points of emphasis as it relates to defense. We saw last year, second half of the year, things were slowed down defensively because they allowed more physicality. We talk about physicality all the time. How do you feel like that's going to play out for your team specifically, and how do you feel like that's played out even in that first half?
I think it's got to be a smart physicality. I think we want to play hard, we want to be physical, but it all depends on how the game is being called. So we just can't be out there fouling and grabbing, especially when teams are in the penalty. So you got to see how they're repping the game and how the game is going to be called, and then kind of go from there.
Is there anything you saw from the new guys that stood out today?
Who do you classify as the new guys?
Well, the guys that weren't with you last year. I know we've talked a lot about just kind of integrating some of those guys. Derek, Chris, just anything that stood out?
No, just, I think Chris, you see his defensive presence, on the ball, point of attack defense, off the ball, a lot of deflections, steals, and DJ just trying to find his spots. But defensively, he's a monster, So with those two guys on the floor, we call them, our shut down corners. And so as long as they can lock into that, offensively, we're going to add more stuff. We're going to be better offensively. But defensively, like I said, tonight was a good job, especially in the half court. Didn't do such a good job as far as taking care of the basketball, which allowed them to get out in transition. And then when we did get stops, we did secure the basketball, so we got to be better with that.
How'd you feel James looked without the controls in the first half?
Yeah, I thought he looked good. Had a couple turnovers, just kind of reading the game, getting used to new players on the floor, but I thought he did a good job.
Talk about the turnovers. Just what were some of the halftime adjustments that you felt that needed to be made?
For the turnovers, don't throw it. If it's not there, don't throw it. Don't force it. Don't try to make tricky passes. But like I said, they're a good defensive team, and they junked the game up, and Draymond at the 5, the switch. He's one of the smartest defenders I've seen come through this league. So we just have to make sure we just taking care of the basketball and just flowing with the ball. So I got to go back and look at it, but we have some unforced turnovers we got to be better with.
Coach, talk about as far as you did the Olympics with Steve. Did that give you any insight into how he manages the game and to extract some of the things that he does?
He didn't give us all this stuff. Him and Spo hit a lot of stuff from me, but no, just being around Steve and having an opportunity, I was very grateful that him and Grant, gave me a call and asked me to be a part of it. So it was an experience you can never get back, and so I was happy for that experience. And like I said, coaching with Steve, coaching with Spo, being with Mark Few, that was a great experience for me. So I learned a lot.
Coach, doing training camps in a row. Would you like to continue this being an annual thing for you?
Yes, sir.